This is BTV News at 9 o'clock, coming to you live from the capital, Gaborone. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. Botswana and Zambia are determined to invest in infrastructure and develop strategic programs of cooperation in various sectors. Government committed to providing potable water throughout the country. And in sports, Botswana Boxing Association to work towards getting the national team to qualify for the Olympics. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Good evening. Botswana and Zambia are determined to invest in infrastructure and develop a strategic and impactful program of cooperation in various sectors in pursuit of promoting strong bilateral relations between the two countries. This was highlighted during official talks between President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi and his Zambian counterpart, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and some cabinet ministers in Kasane. Tutlam Matlabapiri reports.
Botswana and Zambia enjoy cordial relations dating back to pre-independence era. To further strengthen their cooperation, the two countries engaged in official talks that are anticipated to offer them a platform to design a high-impact program of action. The program is poised to boost the two countries' economies through enhanced trade and investment between them.
This program of cooperation is going to involve the sectors that are represented here: mines, mineral development, and the value chains so associated, agric and its value chains, health and its value chains, including vaccine development, tourism, transport, infrastructure, logistics, defense, security, including obviously our political collaboration led by Foreign Affairs. Luckily, we have our predecessors to thank for coming up with the idea of developing a bridge. And we have now an iconic bridge, the Kazungula Bridge, co-owned by the Republic of Zambia and the Republic of Botswana. It is the mission and intention of this meeting to settle the operationalization of that in all its facets.
So we're here to make sure that we isolate the issues that will allow us to manage this asset so its integrity does not degenerate. So it can offer us a longer usage value. We're here to put together something we've over-delayed, creation of the Kazungula Bridge Authority.
Still in infrastructure development, Zambia is keen to further deepen ties with Botswana.
We understand that Botswana, your government, our brothers and sisters here, are talking to the Namibians on the rail line. We would like to be part of those discussions. So, Mr. President, let me add that generally, other infrastructure projects that will facilitate investment, trade between our two countries within SADC, beyond SADC, into the continent, we are keen to isolate.
Meanwhile, the agricultural sector is one of the key priority areas that the two countries seek to expand by developing a synergy on its value chain.
One of the issues that the President raised was they could manufacture and mix to spec that which the Botswana farming industry wants. So it's up for discussion. Obviously, to some extent, government for the regulatory part, but largely with the private sector, because they would specify what they'd want. He was interested in our vaccine development capacity, because they do import our, particularly foot and mouth vaccine and CBPP, caca lung disease vaccine. We're happy to engage in enhanced collaboration on that, because the sooner we can clean out the herd between Botswana and Zambia, the better it is in terms of value addition for both of us.
The two presidents remain resolute in exchanging ideas and cooperating in various strategic ideas so as to attain enhanced economic prosperity for the two nations. Tlotlam Matlabapiri, BTV News.
President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi and his Zambian counterpart, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, hosted a joint press conference in Kasane today as part of the itinerary of the Zambian president's working visit. Therein, President Masisi cited notable progress made in the establishment of the Kazungula Bridge Authority, which will further foster growing relations and cooperation between the two countries.
A lot of progress has been achieved, and the consolidation of that progress was confirmed today and finalized today at this working visit. The Kazungula Bridge Authority will complete all outstanding items of the location of the headquarters. And in the direction provided by the two leaders from Zambia and Botswana, the headquarters of the authority shall be in Botswana. The Kazungula Bridge Authority will also complete the assignment of the determination of origin of the CEO. The CEO, as directed by ourselves, will be a Zambian national. The Kazungula Bridge Authority has also been tasked to, as speedily as possible, ensure that the access roads to the bridge facilities are widened and made convenient. In the same manner, to ensure that they enhance with ICT and technology inputs efficiency, so that there's complementarity between the two, and we realize efficiency with respect to time spent and time to clear, as well as efficiency with respect, again, with the support of technology and other agencies, enhanced security around our border. The Kazungula Bridge Authority, ably marshaled by the two ministers, has also been tasked to ensure that not only do we compare ourselves to the best in Africa, but we beat all of them and begin to compete globally in terms of efficiency and return on investment.
This bridge is a great asset. Just to add on the wonderful things President Masisi has indicated on this question, the Kazungula Bridge Authority, to look after this wonderful asset, to facilitate trade, speed, efficiencies, precision, if I may say so, to ensure that with the movement of goods, it will help us grow our economies and jobs. But not just Botswana and Zambian jobs, but this is a regional asset. It's an Africa asset, and commonly cited during our discussions on what we call the Africa Gateway Project, infrastructure. It's a very important asset.
Still at the Botswana-Zambia joint press conference, President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi was asked about his position regarding the September deadline set by the G7 countries, which mandates the certification of all global diamonds to be done in Antwerp, Belgium. Therein, Zambia pledged its support to Botswana in her unwavering commitment to continue protecting her diamond legacy and its value chains, even in the face of such threatening resolutions.
We reject the notion that Antwerp or Brussels or Belgium or anywhere in the nation states of the G7 possesses the right to be the single node for our minerals. We have explained to them that we expect that at the very least, Gaborone, Botswana would be a node of RAF, because diamonds mean everything to us, less so to them than us. And the issue they are dealing with is an issue that they thought about and made decisions on to do with their conflict that Russia and Ukraine are involved in, and their determination to sanction Russia and in this way sanction Russian diamonds. That is their decision. The diamonds here, we own them until we sell them. We have most of them. We have the nicest of them. And consistent with our determination to generate a knowledge-based economy, a knowledge-intensive economy, any data accumulation, any regulatory intention or actions that would have an impact on our total economy will have to be done with our participation, including even the construct of how it is done, and co-location. We hold firm to that view. Yes, there's a risk. We are a small, almost single commodity-based economy, but we have diplomatic relations with all the G7 member states. And as always with friends, you listen to one another and you manage the risks for both. So we'll continue talking. We're getting to a level where I want to escalate this so that we deal with this at a political level.
President, I also want to add our voice, the voice of Zambia, over the issue of the G7 decision, that such a decision can never be right. I support you, we support you. Fairness, equity, democracy, respect for the rule of law connotes that when an issue arises that affects somebody else, there must be a sit-down. There must be a conversation. And I think some of you may have picked this issue where in June in Paris, a number of us were on a panel with our colleagues from the developed world. And we, as Africa and the less developed countries, have made our case very clear that there has to be a reform of the global financial system. There has to be a reform of the global trading system. There has to be a reform of the global decision-making system. You cannot have Africa with 1.3 billion people excluded from the table where these decisions are made, such as the one we are talking about.
The Ministers of Home Affairs, the Minister of Home Affairs, Ms. Anna Moketi, and Zambian Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Mulambo Haimbe, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Immigration Technical Cooperation in Kasane today. The signing of the MOU was done on the sidelines of the Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema's two-day working visit in Botswana at the invitation of President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi. The signing is a further demonstration of Botswana and Zambia's long-standing bilateral ties and their progressive steps in furthering cooperation in an array of development sectors. Government is committed to providing potable water throughout the country. When addressing residents of Madikola in Buteti West constituency, the Vice President, Mr. Slamba Tsohani, explained that already some water projects are being carried out in some parts of Buteti and across the country through the Transitional National Development Plan. Sabaizing Tabuho.
The United Nations implores its member countries to ensure clean, potable water accessibility to all citizens, and Botswana, as a member state, subscribes to that commitment.
Mananeo a rona ga gona lenaneo le le hitang la dithabololo le sena dithulaganyo tsa go batela batho metsi mme mo lenaneo lone le le hitileng le mo lenaneo le re tabong ra go lone la Transitional National Development Plan puso e dirile go menaganya go leka go batela batho metsi.
Residents shared their views with the Member of Parliament.
a ke a letelesega re na le bothata ya dikgomo tsa rona a re kopele pipe tswang kwa ebe ya kwa gore dikgomo di ska tsa anama mo metseng.
However, efforts are being made to address some of the concerns raised by residents.
Finance ya rona ya council go honorable ba teng gone ine ya tsena ya no re gone go bona madi Antione, Rauri, Retabori, refloat tender, I get to float as one and carry. Reanamisa, the Pampirza thing, Zawahan to Yarune Sabulon to Ver, Cosimula Bikioni.
Ja Garner super Kanyamuru to Taya, a Boko Yalu, a Horsoniseo. Go supagetse jalo gore tharabolongwe e tshwantse ya tswa go go rona gape re le morae mme le nna ke rotloetsa jalo gore ga re tshwantse go tsaya boikarabelo teng re le morae a re direng hela jalo.
Meanwhile, residents were encouraged to utilize the artificial insemination program in order to improve the quality of their cattle breeds.
Women play a pivotal role in the economic development of the country. These remarks were made by the Member of Parliament for Molepolle South, Mr. Kabo Morwaeng, in a meeting with women in his constituency. The meeting was aimed at addressing some of the challenges faced by women, such as gender-based violence and poverty, among others. Lucky Toteng has more.
Global research indicates women to be amongst the most affected groups in the society when it comes to challenges such as poverty, gender-based violence and unemployment. On that note, the Office of the Area Member of Parliament for Molepolle South embarked on a journey to address those challenges by empowering women.
Puso e dumela thata mo gore re tshwanetse re golesege barotlhe mme le bomme le na le karolo e tona e le tshwentseng go nna le yone mo tšhabeng ya rona go tlhabolola la tsela rona tšhaba e ka se tlhabologe bomme ba saletse ko morago ha bomme ba tlhabologile tšhaba ya tlhabologa.
This meeting has attracted a lot of women with the aim of starting a dialogue on challenges facing women.
Re na le mananeo a ka tshwana la nyeletso lehuma mananwa ha o ka leba ha history ha re ngaparisitse a masoma a mane le bothamo go a ithopela ra utana ke thulaganyo ya ofisi ya boipelego rona tiro kgolo ya rona ke go assess go seka
re rutetsa batsadi gore ba inakanya le mananeo a mangwe ke batla go boela kone ke le ra ke re e ska la utwa ka motho ka kwa gore a re mananeo a rile a khala a dira mo go thera utwana tsama go ikutela le wena o tlo khale o tlo itumele o tlo ra utwana wa go ikutela ka tsebe tsa go so pedi ya no ne ke re ke gakollegela gore ha re na le diemo a re tsene mo ofisi ya boipela go ha o sa itumele re teng re bolele gore nya be nne ke tsenya go Mr. K ne ke tsenya go Mr. Dinokopila a riana
However, since these women were urged not to only rely on government programs, some of them shared their experiences.
Sinka sele wena o ka se dira o ska wa batla go direlwa ka dinako tsotlhe o ka itirela wena akanya modimo o go hile tlhaloganya ke se mmeyo wa modimo a se bua.
The main objective of these meetings is to start the preparations for the bigger day on March 8, where more than 5,000 women are expected to attend the celebration of Women's Day together with Muhuma Khadima Tumahule's birthday party. Lakito Teng, PTV News, Molepolole.
In other news, a cybersecurity expert and director of CyberSmart Botswana, Mr. David Mwepeng, has warned Botswana against online scammers who use online puzzles and games to access the personal information of users. He said many end up giving these scammers use of their Facebook profiles. Mr. Mwepeng said this in an interview with BTV News. Wabetsu Mpulubusi and Disang Khosi.
As the use of technology continues to grow in Botswana, both at individual and businesses, online scammers are taking advantage of these developments by using social media platforms for criminal activities. Recently, there has been a trend on social media of games and puzzles developed by these online scammers at the expense of the user, exposing their personal details.
Di puzzle tse ga gongwe di dirwa ke di developer tse ileng gore bone maikelo a bone ya beile go goka badirisi di itse gore di puzzle tsa teng ga gongwe ke game o kgona go tshameka game gongwe o change tebego ya gago gongwe game ya teng re tla re bone tse dingwe gote e kgona go go bolelela gore mo ngwageng o tang fa go diragala mo matshelong wa gago batho ba nna excited gore ngwaga o tang ka 2024 ya ka re le mo go 2024 yana tse dingwe tse re di boneng le dintsintsi ke gore bo mongwe ta ba itumelela gore platform e mora wa go nyalwa e mongwe mora wa go bona tiro e mongwe mora wa go nna mohumi tsone di game tsone tse mo maranyane gantsinyana batho ba tsaela gore ba go ba tshameka ga se sepehela se se ka tswang sena le bodiphatsa bo burileng.
Lack of knowledge about cybersecurity is one of the leading causes of escalating number of online scamming cases.
Batho gantsinyana ba thoka kitso ya go tlhaloganya gore bodiphatsa bo ileng gore bo ba lebagane ha ba ntse ba dirisa maranyane ke bo bontseng jang mme le batho ba ntse ba na le kitso gantsinyana ra itemogetse gore batho ba dumela ha go se go mo diragaletse le go mpie kwana mo bekeng yone ntseng e heta yone re ntse re ruta ba dirisa ba social media ka bodiphatsa bo botang le tiriso ya di game tsa di puzzle le di quiz yalo mme le go mpie go mo mosonyana ke bone gore gona le ba ba tsweletseng ba ntse ba tshameka tsone di game tsone tseo gona le game e nngwe ntseng e tshamekiwa di puzzle e nngwe ntseng tshamekiwa e leng gore e change ditebego tsa go tsaya go tsenya mo uniform ya masole.
Before ke nna le kitso hela ka dio tsa cyber crime ne re ha di game di tswa be ke klika ke tshameka but since ke nna le maitemogelo a gore ga di a siama di kgona go dirisiwa ha go tsa banking details mo phoning kana go tsa mo phoning be ke nna ke ntse ke di avoid.
The lingering question remains what could be done to put this new trend to a halt.
So se stoka halang ke gore le at a national level puso e tshwanetse re tlhaloganya gore Batswana ba tshwanetse ba rutinsiwe ba direla puso ba tshwanetse ba rutinsiwe ka gore ka mosole le tsa motakase le tsa metsi di dirisa maranyane kana malatsing ra tere bone mo mahatseng a mangwe di hackera di kgona go tswala power station e be go tima di hackera di kgona go tswala water station e be go tima go sena metsi se se tlhokagalang ke gore dikitso di tshwanetse gore di atolosiwe Batswana ba ithute ba itse gore maranyane ataka bodiphatsa.
Meanwhile, Mwepeng said online users should exercise caution when giving out their personal details, particularly their cell phone numbers, to avoid being vulnerable. Betsy Mpulubusi, BTV News, Gaborone.
The program coordinator in the Ministry of Agriculture's The Moletotlo Initiative, Mr. Kwenantle Khasitsewe says the program, which provides funding to all Botswana interested in arable farming, is a collaborative effort between the ministry and a number of other ministries with the intent of creating an enabling environment for both subsistence and commercial farming. Mr. Khasitsewe highlighted this at the 15th meeting of the 4th Ntluyedo Khosi in Gaborone on Tuesday. Tumisang Vinte and Tsholofelo Tombali.
The Ministry of Agriculture's program, Temolotlotlo, is a successor to the Integrated Support Program for Arable Agriculture Development, ESPAD, which, seeing it not succeeding at making Botswana food secure, was revamped to ensure it delivers. It was shared with the 15th meeting of the 4th Ntluyedo Khosi that among those changes was the decision to collaborate with various ministries to improve conditions for farming and for commercializing it.
Ministry wa Agriculture le nosi le kgobokantsa maphata a puso a harologaneng. Re na le ba Ministry wa Madi wa Finance. Tiro ya bone ke go tlhomamisa gore Batswana ba hiwa madi a dikadimo. Gabe go nna le Ministry wa Entrepreneurship. O ile gore maikelo a one ke go tlhabolola ka ha ditsa temo di kanala nang ka teng mo re go bitsa re value chains. Gabe go nna le Ministry wa Transport le Public Works. Ba o tiro ya bone betso ke gone go tlhomamisa gore ba go dira ditsela tse di yang ko masimo.
Mr. Khasitsewe said under Temolotlotlo, they have also increased the number of crops they encourage farmers to plant to help reduce food imports.
Re ne ra oketsa dipeo batsadi ra tsenya lebelebele ya ka ne ke supile gore ne re dira dipeo tse nne hela. Re ne ra tsenya lebelebele, ra tsenya one mmidi, ra tsenya mabele, ra tsenya le one rice, ra tsenya korong le dinawa ka mehuta ya tsone ya ka bo dimambini, di cowpeas, di sugar beans, di soya bean le manoko.
He also said that not only farmers stand to benefit from Temolotlotlo.
Temolotlotlo ga se only about primary tillage. E na le all other activities in the value chains. Ke sone se re reng le mo bananeng le rokotsa mate ka gore la ba sa rate go lema mme di teng tse ba ka di dirang ka letsema. Ba ka reka di terekere ba tsamaya ba lo sprayela ka di boom sprayera, ba ka reka di drone ba tsamaya ba lo sprayela mehero ditshedi ka tsonetse, ba ka kgona gore ba dire di service centera, ba ka kgona gore ba reke dikoloi tse di tsang thobo ya lona di ya tumetsa ko mmarakeng.
The ministry has revealed that they started to register people in October and have registered 105,000 farmers so far, but encourage more Botswana to take advantage of this initiative. Tsholofelo Tombali, BTV News, Gaborone.
Tourism operators in Ngambiland district have requested government to build and improve infrastructure to help promote the district as a tourism hub. More than 30 players in tourism are currently attending a symposium in Maung discussing challenges and opportunities they face in an endeavor to improve the sector. Anthony Klobogang.
Giving an overview of the plan meant to revive Botswana's tourism at the workshop, the Ministry of Environment and Botswana Tourism Organization stated that the meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibition strategy is intended to benefit all sectors and not just tourism.
This is where we are talking about international gatherings and promoting Botswana to be a destination of choice when it comes to international or global events. So by that virtue, obviously, every sector will benefit, be it agriculture, education, be it finance, culture and arts, be it in particular hospitality.
MICE is all-encompassing. It is not just about tourism. And we pooled resources, minds from different sectors and different institutions, the Ministry of Trade, the Ministry of Youth, National Sports Commission, National Arts Council, and this was a representation across sectors to ensure that whatever guidance is given to the consultant is representative of the sectors that are to be, or that we anticipate will be impacted upon.
Meanwhile, MICE consultant Mr. Sen Ramsamy highlighted that the plan fully endorses mindset change and gives an opportunity to reshape the economic panorama of Botswana.
But however, there is an over-reliance on diamond. Now that diamond is also being produced in labs, the artificial diamonds, sometimes they look better than the natural ones. For how long can we rely on diamond to sustain the economy of this country, to sustain the whole population in their daily lives?
Tourism players mentioned some of the challenges comprising of unemployment, inflation, and fierce global competition from other markets.
When we speak about competitiveness of the product, that is it. How about we harness what is already existing? That we don't have to try and claim and resell. Let's harness what is already existing.
Infrastructure and sustainability. It's quite important that any tourist town, whatever the situation, must look like it's a tourist town. Yes, and the biggest challenge of Maung, and the reason why we're all complaining and why everybody's feeling like they are not a part of the tourism, is because our town does not look like it's a tourist town.
The MICE strategy is meant to add value to the local tourism product by capitalizing on the strengths and excellent geostrategic position, whilst further consolidating Botswana's image as a quality wildlife and wilderness destination. Anthony Tawarang, BTV News, Maung.
Member of Parliament for Khanzi North, Mr. John Tithe, says community constituency projects are valuable entities which can be used to drive economies of localities, as they are a possible source of employment and revenue generation. During a tour of some of the projects in Khanzi, the MP called on those tasked with monitoring these projects to put together resources to ensure the projects see the light of day. One of the long-awaited projects is that of the stadium, whose boundary wall construction will be completed end of this month. Angela Enosa.
Constituency community projects in the Khanzi township form part of the sustainable developmental projects which will drive the economy of this township. Those tasked with monitoring the projects are employed to ensure they see the light of day.
We work in silos. We tell
Tota we need to be working now, working meetings, because that coordinating, that overarching and overlooking body. So
the stadium project is finally underway after years of delays.
Project stadium, Canada in 2017. Here in Emergency Tama is here in January 2018. Look at nothing stadium, Lakosoma. Me on analytic or a horror. This is the Perara Bolo Tata. Look at a design of Timulo in his addressing. Me or I ever turn a good really happy. Me look at Italian Barbie. Jano who are happy back and Cholakayon. Kijano Udria.
Betamela here. And Kilondu Halina. The Redira Watrakamule almost 800,000. So we really spending 3.2 million in completion of the stadium. And on all the 4 packages, Bali 3 Bastavahitis. So our expectation for the beginning of next month, we are going to stadium.
However, the Kurakura Garden project is still performing below expectaactions. Hopes are being pinned on these projects to not only change the aesthetic look of the township, but to also create much-needed employment for the locals. Angela Enosa, BTV News, Khanzi.
As part of their ongoing benchmarking exercise, a delegation from the Ugandan Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development visited Wakezi Land Board, where the Land Board Secretary, Mr. Khudiramang Mwepeng, presented the Land Board strategies and management practices to the delegation.
Mr. Mwepeng explained that even though the Department of Land Board faces a lot of challenges, such as delayed allocation of land, shortage of land, cases of theft and illegal sale of land, however, the government works tirelessly to protect the rights of its citizens by ensuring that every Motswana is allocated land, especially residential.
In 2018, that is when we said we have the reenactment of the Tribal Land Act, so that it can suit and accommodate the current situation. Hence, that enactment. And the whole intention was to protect and promote the rights of all citizens, so that we promote sustainable human settlement within Botswana.
We are privileged, ladies and gentlemen, and equally proud to host you all in this our humble facilities today. And it is our hope and trust that you'll find these facilities sufficient for your requirements and needs for the day.
The Ugandan delegates were given a chance to express their views and opinions on the presentations.
Interesting and surprising revelations. For example, I did not expect to hear that there is shortage of land here, and that there are 86 and something pending land applications, looking at the density and also the population generally of the country, but also the land size compared to where I'm coming from.
We have the issue of women owning land in Uganda. The president has initiated a number of programs to empower women so that they are able to access land, use the land, and own the land. The statistics are still low, with only less than 20% of women owning land in Uganda. However, that 20% is only 0.05% of the registered land. Uganda has about 26% of the land that is registered, and only less than 1% is owned by women.
The delegates applauded and encouraged the Land Board for imparting ample information to them to carry it and implement in their country, and further advised those in charge of land allocation to continue doing their best in assisting everyone to acquire land, especially residential, which is every individual's fundamental right. Kese Rofetse Makwinja, BTV News, Kanye.
Parliament has passed several bills to protect people living with disabilities and mental challenges. This was said by the Member of Parliament for Francistown South, Mr. Winter Mulutsi, during a Khotla meeting in Tshwaragano Ward in Francistown. Faith Ditete.
Neraba akanya molao wa bana le bogole o bidiwa go the persons with disability o hedisa kgethollo ya bana le bogole go bona gore bana le bogole ba sireletsega ka tsela e heteletseng ka gore ga bana boitiro jo bo kalokalo ja go itshireletsa ra tswelela ra go dira molao o mongwe wa bolwetse ja balwetse ba tlhaloganyo re lemogile gore bolwetse ja tlhaloganyo bo a gola mo lehatsheng la Botswana bo a gola bo godisiwa ke dilo tse dintsi mo teng re balla le ditagi tse di tshwanang bo katse jalo so jaanong ra dira gore molao oneo re leke gore jaanong re o baakanye gore le bone ba te ba kgone go bona tshireletsego.
Mr. Mulutsi says in the current financial year, their priority was installing street lights to reduce crime on the streets, as well as improving stormwater drainage to prevent floods through their CCP budget.
Tota ke maikaelelo a gore re tabogele gore di kgaolwana tsotlhe tsa rona ka bo 7 ja tsone mo kgaolong eno re di baakanyetse mesele yone ya kgopo ya metsi ya pula ka gore tota metsi ya pula ka ga go ntseng ka teng mo nakong ya gampieno a dira gore go nne diphatsa mo go rona ka nako ya pula go lo mo gongwe mo re go emetseng ka dinao ba gaetsho ke gone go leka gone gore re kgone go fokotsa borukuti mo kgaolong yotlhe ya Francistown South ka go tsenya tsone dipone tsone tse tsa solar.
The area legislature stressed the importance of viable value chain projects as sustainable models of doing business to boost the local economies.
Nane ka kopa tautona gore e re a le reka dipoo ka kwano le re gopole ka go re direla yone mebereko go leka go oketsa lebelo la go bona gore di mine tsa bo Tati Nickel di mine tsa bo Selkirk di a bulwa le gone gore di kompone di swana bo Notex tse e leng gore ga di a bolo go kopa lehatshe ba re ba batla go oketsa babereki gabedi di hwe lehatshe ba kgone gore ba oketse babereki gabedi le go bona gore dikokelo tsa rona mo toropong di nna le bo maternity wing di bereka bo 24 hours ra ikopela le gone gore madi e re ha dipoo di bereka ka kwano gongwe a dirisiwe go servicea lehatshe gore re tle re kgone gore re abelwe ditsha mo toropong ya rona.
Residents decried of the impact caused by outstanding service levies as well as unpaid loans left by their deceased relatives and parents in developing their residentials.
Gona le ditsha tse le gore di togeletswe ke kana dijarata tse di togeletsweng ke botsadi jwa rona tsa lefa jalo go ne gona le dikoloto bangwe ba ne ba kolota di-service lay bangwe ba kolota di-loan tsa bone ba di tsere ke ne ka kopana le town clerk ba supa gore kgang ene le police le diragala mo Francistown hela ko dikgaolong tse dingwe ga iyo ya ne ke re beile rona ba ile ga re kolote di-loan re kolota service lay mo mosing ka gore ga re kgone go tshuwa go metakase re sa duela dinenyane tseo so go dia le tsone dithabololo.
Residents were encouraged to make wills to prevent conflicts that arises after the death of a family member and to take advantage of the free arrangement he has made for them with professional lawyers to assist them with will contractions. Faithy, DT3, BTV News, Francistown.
It is time now for Ntabugang Simetlela with the latest in sports. Ntabu,
my lady,
how are you, ma'am?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good.
South Africa just went through to round of 16.
Your team?
I don't have a team.
You don't? Okay.
I'm just supporting because they are my neighbors. South Africa, Namibia. I'm expecting Namibia, you know, they're on 4 points. Third place, 4 points. So not yet official. They're waiting to see. So I'm really anticipating a good result.
I'm not seeing excitement in your face. You just said South Africa. We just went through the round of the last 16, but your face doesn't communicate excitement for your neighbor.
I have to remain neutral.
Please proceed.
Thank you very much. This is Botswana Tonight Sports News. I am Ntabagan Sebetlela. Botswana Boxing Association President Gilbert Kunwane says even though the boxing national team couldn't qualify for the Olympics in the first round qualifiers in Senegal, they are doing everything in their power to secure qualification in the two remaining chances to reach Paris. Kunwane said this during the team's training session as they prepare for the second round of the World Qualifiers that will be held in Italy on the 29th of February. Leader Poloko Hendinel Chokoko.
The national boxing team, which is made up of both male and female boxers, started camp on the 12th of this month in preparation for the World Qualifiers tournament. The president of Botswana Boxing Association, Gilbert Kunwane, further revealed that even though they did not qualify during the first round of the qualifiers in Senegal, they are working very hard since they still have a chance to go on to the Olympics.
The qualifiers, the continental qualifiers, the Senegal, the qualifiers for the Olympic team, I want to qualify. I have the chance to get a page. Se le ngoreng gompieno ana ka match team ya rona tebe ya di qualifiers ko Italy ina le di face tse dintsi mo le ngoreng ga o le mo competitive period pace ya go gona le ka hale gore tswentse gore nna ka te so we believe gore gompieno ana ke gona ya non re le mo preparatory stages sa competition and ke tsa gore ntse o bona gore le yana training e ha go dimonyana didn't prepare for Senegal I would say. Even though Reako tournament is very, very tough, now it's world. All the continents are there.
One of the boxers aiming for qualification at the World Qualifiers, Rajab Mohamed Utukile, said preparations are going well. Utukile opened the year by taking part in inter-club tournament held in Gaborone over the weekend.
Just that the results are respond. I think I'm on the right track because happening tournament I'm getting ready. I'm not that ready, but I'm since federation camping is a good thing or Lorna Rebuele Vascara, Rastina Guele, how he for now, I can return some time in an hour like Obankanya, how would say it's in only decided to go more up. Yaka when Yaka weekend, only near Lucitiana, maybe back at this one by Levan Hale, near a short Hale, Mewane, Ratabanka.
The national boxing team, under the guidance of Tevese Talekhosi, will use local competitions such as inter-club tournament on the 3rd of February for training purposes before moving on for an international training camp in Bosnia. The next round of World Qualification tournament will begin on the 29th of February in Italy. Lydia Pologo, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now and lastly, to the African Cup of Nations tournament in Ivory Coast, Cameroon came from behind to register a hard-fought 3-2 victory against Gambia in Group C yesterday. The win ensured that the indomitable Lions move on to the last round of 16 after finishing second behind Senegal.
The first half failed to produce any real goal-mouth action. However, in the second half, Cameroon opened the scoring on the 56th minute, courtesy of Karl Togo Ekambi. Gambia, who lost 1-0 against Guinea in their last encounter, managed to raise their game and level matters on the 72nd minute through a Billy Jallo before Ibrahima Koli gave them the lead 13 minutes later. With the match looking to be another big upset at the 2023 AFCON tournament, Rigobert Song's men put pressure on Gambia's defense, leading to an own goal from defender James Gomez, making it 2-2. As their hopes of continuing with the tournament were looking a bit dim, the 5-time champions dug deep in the dying minutes and their efforts were rewarded as Christopher Waugh headed in a dramatic winner. The win ensured a passage into the last 16 round after finishing second in Group C on 4 points. In another Group C clash, defending champions Senegal defeated Guinea 2-0 to top the group. Goals from Abdoulaye Seck and Ilman Ndiaye gave the Lions of Teranga a comfortable win. In Group D, the 2019 champions Algeria had a nightmare of a tournament as they were bundled out in the first round. Algeria went down 1-0 to Mauritania, finishing bottom of the group on 2 points. In another match, Angola defeated Burkina Faso 2-0, with both sides moving on to the second round. Ryan Khemunyane, BTV Sport.
AFCON bringing us to the end of our sports news tonight. Now back to Komozo to remind you of the backheads. My lady.
Thank you so much. And I think there's just too many stories that are coming out of AFCON. I don't know if you saw a clip on BBC Africa with Ghanaian fans and how disappointed they were and the sort of things that they were saying, like, we came but the team disappointed us, with journalists apparently blocking the way for the players, blocking their way into the bus, saying you can't go, you can't bring us here, really in protest for the emotions,
the emotions that normally emanates from football. Honestly, they just sometimes blow my mind. Like, people are really invested into football.
People have taken leave, and now the leave is cut short because you are going home after 3 games.
Imagine.
When I had intended to be there the whole month.
It is really sad.
But you were telling me an interesting story that we may not be at AFCON in Ivory Coast, but we are represented somehow.
Namibia. The Namibian team have players who play here locally in our Premier League. I think around 4, less than 6 players. They are there in AFCON. So when the commentators are talking in there saying this one is playing internationally in Botswana.
So we are represented. Not all is lost.
Yes, I think representation, I think, is it? If it was to be in tears.
Our name is mentioned. That's what is important. Exactly.
Branding free.
Thank you so much. Until we meet again tomorrow, have yourself a fantastic evening, ma'am.
Thank you very much, my lady. Do have yourself a great night.
That was Ntawahan giving us the latest in sports, latest coming out of AFCON. Until we meet again tomorrow. Now let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. Botswana and Zambia are determined to invest in infrastructure and develop strategic programs of cooperation in various sectors. Government committed to providing potable water throughout the country. And in sports, Botswana Boxing Association to work towards getting the national team to qualify for the Olympics. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News, Ikanyarona. Hashtag BW Mindset Change at a Chain. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Samuel Ramotont. The following are some of the rainfall amounts that were recorded this morning at 8 o'clock. 30 millimeters at Pitsani Molopo Primary School 15, at Mabule Primary School 9, at Pitsani BDF 7, at Itoloke Primary School 6, at Bray Border Post 5, at Muramusu Primary School 3, at Kumukasito Primary School 2, at Kokum Primary School 1, at Tangani Primary School and Tsabo Med Station, and drops were recorded at Veda Med Station. Well, the current satellite picture shows clouds which are visible over most areas of the country, and we're expecting these clouds to thunder or shower tonight over some areas of Kalahari and Southern. As for tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions are expected over the entire country with possibility of isolated thunder showers over some areas of Khansi, Kalahari, Southern, Southeast, Khatlinkweni, and Southern Central. In the morning, hot temperatures are expected over Ngamile and Khansi, Kalahari, Southern, Southeast, Khatling, and Kweni, with the minimums ranging from 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. While over Central, Northeast, and Chobe, we're expecting warm temperatures in the morning with minimums ranging from 17 to 19 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, still hot temperatures are expected over Ngamile, Khansi, Kalahari, Southern, Southeast, Khatling, and Kweni, with the maximums ranging from 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. But over Central, Northeast, and Chobe, we're expecting warm temperatures in the afternoon with the maximums ranging from 29 to 32 degrees Celsius. And as for some cities in Southern Africa, showers are expected over Antananarivo, Dar es Salaam, Luanda, and Windhoek, while over Nairobi we're expecting only few periods of clouds visible and partly cloudy over Cape Town, while over Port Elizabeth we're expecting clear skies. And over Northern Africa, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions over Addis Ababa, Khartoum, N'Djamena, and Tripolis, while over Cairo and Monrovia we're expecting some showers and clear skies are expected over Rabat. That's the weather forecast. Have yourself a good night.
The road to destiny is not paved with brick and tar, but with vision and determination that unveil over time who we truly are when we get there. The Ministry of Transport and Public Works has embarked on a journey of transformation to enhance the efficiency of transport systems